We're joined now by Bruce Kluger, USA Today columnist and author of Dog on the Roof, On the Road with Mitt and the Mutt. So, Bruce, how did the president do last night? Did he hit it out of the park?
I think he hit it out of the park, absolutely, and yet I think that it was something of a surprise.
Why?
Because usually in this situation, as what happened at the Republican convention, the president is going to make an uplifting oratory and let the other people, a vice presidential candidate and other members of Congress and other members of the party, do the heavy lifting for them. And in Obama's case, I was somewhat surprised because I thought we were going to get some of that classic 2008 oratory, and what we got instead is something more similar to a State of the Union address in which he addressed the issues point by point and did a little bit of politicking there as well. Clearly not some of the kind of anti-Romney rhetoric we heard from some of the others, but he faced off with Romney in a way and sort of was State of the Union in addressing the different policy issues. And I think that there was a reason for that, and that's because there's been so much disinformation. That's the polite word for lying.
Yes, on both sides. I mean, it has been remarkable.
Well, no, and I'm really glad that the newspapers are picking up on some of that, on some of the lies and disinformation. I would argue, however, that a lot of the disinformation, the majority of the disinformation, has been coming from the Republican Party. I'm not saying that the Democrats are immune to that particular practice.
No, because they're saying that Mitt Romney killed a woman by firing a guy. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, some of the stuff that's been coming out, our jaws have been on the floor, really, on both sides.
On both sides, but the point that a lot of the people were trying to make last night, the president himself and the vice president, is I think there's been a lot of screaming from Republicans this time about what they don't like about the president, and that is very much their right to do it, and the convention was a good place to do it, but we don't hear a lot of concrete ideas. And I think that's the hole that Obama filled in last night, is he not only said we have, we're better for the country right now, but he also gave examples and clarified things and talked about issues and talked policy, which was somewhat refreshing. It wasn't as rah and exciting as I thought it was going to be, but it was extremely informative.
We're talking with Bruce Kluger, USA Today columnist and also author of Dog on the Roof, On the Road with Mitt and the Mutt. Obama last night, too, the president did what, we don't pick political sides here on this show, but, I mean, if you're going to give political advice, one of the things would have to be to President Obama, and he finally picked it up last night, was when you took this job and it smelled like a big bag of this economy, you said this wasn't going to be solved in weeks or months. It was going to be years, and yet last night is really the first time we've really heard him lay that out. Not blaming Bush, but just saying, "Look, I told you it's going to take a while."
You know what? You're preaching to the choir here, because I'm a born and bred liberal, and and I have no problem expressing it. And in recent years, as you know, and as the newspapers all report, there's been a certain disaffection with among people on the left about what was happening with the economy. And my line for the past 2 years to my fellow liberals have been, what was it about this is going to take a long time did you not hear? Because those first words came out at Lincoln Park in November of 2008. I will never forget his victory speech when he won the election. He looked more nervous than he did elated, and he was tempered. He said, this is going to be a lot of work.
I would have turned to McCain and said, you know what, forget it, you can have this one. Bruce Kluger, USA Today columnist and author of the book Dog on the Roof, On the Road with Mitt and the Mutt. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.